Hey guys, I wanted to come over here and say in my car, there we go. Now it looks like I got some hair. Come on here and say hello, hello YouTube, hello family. Hoping that all of you are well, hoping that all is going wonderful after the Christmas holiday. Hopefully you've got some good shopping done. I did want to come to you guys earlier with the tidbits from the book. I am actually picking up my son from work and maybe going to do something else. Not really sure. So it is coming. Trust me, it is coming. But I do remember one tidbit about the book and what it said. And it said something in reference to how we often can become, excuse me, mentally exhausted as teenagers. How we became mentally exhausted as teenagers um, because of our learning that we were expected to learn. Maybe it was a new type of algebra, or maybe it was a type of biology or history that was kind of difficult for us, and we just couldn't wrap our head around it. So we became mentally exhausted and frustrated. And the same can happen when we don't know the Lord. The same can happen when we don't know the Lord, when we're beginning to know the Lord. The same thing can happen when we think about the creation and understanding God, understanding a man who existed and still exists today. So these are little tidbits and excerpts out of the book. When people make your life difficult, by Daniel E. Miller. It is a Christian publication. I did indicate that I would be coming on with little tidbits, but the one thing that I did learn today in reading it was how we can become mentally exhausted when we overdo all kinds of things. We can become mentally exhausted at work when we learn new things at work. We can become mentally exhausted in times when we have teenagers and perhaps we're not used to raising teenagers. We can become mentally exhausted when perhaps our marriage or the relationship that we're in is not going so well. So there are a lot of different ways in which we become mentally exhausted. And in doing so, it would be easy for us to understand how we could become mentally exhausted trying to understand the goodness of God. The only thing that we can just go with, the flow that we can just go with, is that the fact that he is good, and that we know that he's good, and that we might not understand it, however we accept it. The book is really good because it's getting us to understand the Creator, God himself, getting us to understand the reason for his creation, and then in getting us to understand the reason for the creation, we will in turn be able to understand why and how it is that people unnecessarily can attempt to make your life, my life, and mostly everybody's life difficult. As I said before at the beginning of the excerpt, for me to talk about the book, When People Make Your Life, or When Others Make Your Life Difficult, I did indicate that there were some reasons